Today, we're going to attempt one of the weirdest challenges in Pokemon history.
That is, can we beat Pokemon Legends Arceus without breaking any of the 10 commandments?
Before starting, let's set the rules for the challenge by reviewing each commandment. First, thou shalt have no other gods. This means we can't use legendary Pokemon, since they're revered as godlike beings.
Okay, but what about Arceus, the literal god of the Pokemon world who speaks to us directly?
Well, I mean, talking to someone's dad doesn't make them my dad. But to be safe, we can just not listen to him. Thou shalt not make idols. Although idols refers to objects of worship, we're going to focus on the word make and ban all crafting.
So we'll get all our items by buying them at the shop or by foraging for them out in the wild.
These items don't grow on trees, except for the ones that do.
Thou shalt not murder, which in previous attempts of this challenge meant we couldn't directly feint any Pokemon. Instead, we relied on indirect methods to make the opponent knock themselves out.
However, Legends Arceus doesn't have abilities, held items, or even confusion status itself. So how do we progress through this game without murder?
Well, if we get attacked first, then we can retaliate in self-defense. Through the eyes of the law, that's not murder.
Yeah, but what about through the eyes of the Lord?
Well, I guess we'll see when we get there.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. No repetition of Pokemon types on the team. We're not going to cheat on our Pikachu by using a second Pikachu, or a Shinx, or a Magnemite, or a Taser.
Thou shalt not steal. Moves that steal HP from opponents are banned, which includes attacks like Absorb, Leech Life, and Draining Kiss.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, which, according to this quick Google search, means don't lie. So we aren't allowed to use moves that involve trickery or deceit, such as False Swipe or Shadow Sneak.
And finally, thou shalt not covet. No using the move Covet, which doesn't even exist in this game, so commandment passed.
There are also 3 more commandments that don't really influence the way we play the game, so we can just walk those right back up the mountain.
After floating through the void with a being who shall remain nameless, we find ourselves awakened on the beach by a man named Laventon, who tells us that we fell here from the sky.
Well, that explains our horrible disfigurement. How did we survive a fall like that?
Arceus actually sent dozens of people through the rift. We're just the first ones to survive. Laventon introduces us to his 3 Pokemon, who immediately run away.
Well, of course, they're terrified by our horribly broken body.
We're tasked with catching these runaways and are given 50 Pokeballs, which are precious resources in a run without crafting, so we can't afford to waste any.
Shannon, it's the tutorial!
I'm sorry. Hold on, I'll get right up in there.
After demonstrating our catching abilities, Laventon brings us to Jubilee Village, where we meet Akari and Captain Silene of the Galaxy Survey Corps. And then, we're given an entire house.
The housing market here is in shambles.
The good kind of shambles. But in order to keep this place and stay in the village, we need to pass a trial to join the Galaxy Survey Corps. I wonder what manner of tribulations will this ancient village thrust upon our modern soul.
Catch a Bidoof, Starly, and Shinx.
Ah, okay, so something I could have done when I was 8.
We pick Rowlet as our starter Pokemon because roundliness is next to godliness. Also, it has higher defenses, which could be helpful since we always need to be able to survive one attack before we can deliver our own.
On our way out of town, we get challenged to a battle by a merchant named Volo. In this game, players are free to wander around the area during combat.
We're also free to do this.
That shouldn't.
While Volo runs to reclaim his Togepi, we sneak out through the gates and into the Obsidian Fieldlands to begin our trial.
We easily grab a Bidoof, then rummage through the grass to catch a Starly.
And Lyme disease, probably.
Then we battle a Shinx with our slow Bidoof to ensure we get attacked first, and throw a Pokeball to catch it.
Look at those sparks fly. Literally, he is angry in there.
Our reward for completing the trial was a work uniform and 10 solid minutes of unskippable cutscenes. And then we're finally set free into the Fieldlands once again.
To progress in this game, we need to earn points by completing research for each Pokemon.
We start by trying to pick fights with Bidoof, but these men know nothing of war. So we focus on battling the more aggressive creatures, like Shinx and Weasel.
Right now, none of our Pokemon know any non-damaging moves, so we have to keep switching between them until someone gets attacked and we can fight back.
Hit me! Hit me! And after catching some Starly, Wurmple, and Ponyta, we finally earn enough points to rank up and earn our first star.
And to celebrate, we buy Pokeballs to replace the ones we wasted trying to catch Ponyta, and sell all our crafting items, because that's the only use we'll get from them.
At the training grounds, Akari challenges us to our first real battle. We switch to make Pikachu draw first blood, but Bidoof dodges the attack. Don't do that! We then switch to Wurmple, who also dodges it. It's like they don't want to get hurt.
After a few more turns of switching, Pikachu finally lands a hit on Shinx, and we can begin our retribution. Rowlet retakes the stage and knocks her Pikachu down with Leafage.
Not quite.
And then it's back to the Obsidian Fieldlands to meet Mai, a warden of the Diamond Clan. The region of Hisui is split between two rival clans with different versions of their god.
Janet, there's no time, we're in a battle!
Oh, sorry. Munchlax doesn't react when we switch to Bidoof, but then tackles Shinx directly on sight. Why does everyone attack Shinx? Does he have a target on his face or something?
From atop our perch, we command Rowlet to attack, but he gets crushed by a rollout, which makes sense. Munchlax is uphill, so gravity isn't on our side. But Weasel is so fast it can land 2 Aqua Jets in a row, earning us the victory.
Mai asks for our help subduing a strange Pokemon, but first tries to convert us with teachings of the Diamond Clan's almighty Sinnoh.
But this doesn't break the commandments, as long as we don't believe in it. It's thou shalt not have other gods, not they shalt not have other gods.
We arrive at Deer Track Heights to meet our first Alpha Pokemon.
He may be Alpha, but he's not Omega. Let's take him down.
Do something!
Kricketune nearly wipes Rowlet with an Aerial Ace, but at least this time we don't have to do our switching strategy. A strong style Gust, which increases power but decreases our action speed, takes it down to half health, and then a burn from Ponyta's Ember finishes the job.
Get used to that heat, Kricketune, because now you'll burn in hell!
It's the Great Weirdeer! He thanks us for removing that pest from his home, so we set up a base camp to be the new pests.
Well, at least we don't make as much noise.
Back in Jubilife, we meet Irida and Adaman, the leaders of the two clans. They tell us that Kleavor, a noble of the Pearl clan, has gone into a frenzy, and we're tasked with making him chill out.
To help in our mission, Adaman gives us a celestial flute that we can play to summon Weirdeer, except no sound comes out, likely because I don't know how to play it.
It's like a dog whistle, only Weirdeer can hear it.
I guess playing a flute is technically music, which we've turned off for the recording. So anyway, now we have the ability to travel quickly around the overworld. Reaching Kleavor's home, we hatch a plan to offer him his favorite food to calm him down.
Maybe he's not mad about getting struck by lightning. Maybe he's just hangry.
We mash the food into balls, which may seem like it's against the commandments because they call it offerings, but is it really an offering if we're pelting them at him like snowballs?
Kleavor, Lord of the Woods, bursts forward from inside the trees. We lob food bombs at him while trying to dodge his attacks.
Unsuccessfully, I may add.
But an expertly timed jump causes him to become stunned, and we send out Rowlet for the punishment.
A Stealth Rock nearly knocks him down in one hit, so we do a strong style leafage since Rowlet isn't going to survive another turn.
With Shinx on the field, we choose Quick Attack to get 2 turns in a row, but apparently Stealth Rock hurts in between turns now, so Shinx faints before getting the second attack. Weasel also gets rocked, but a rollout from Geodude saves the day.
This thing is ridiculously powerful, and since fighting only gives you a chance to throw extra bombs, we do the rest of the fight ourselves instead of sending out more Pokemon.
Well, it's not like we had a choice. Everyone's dead.
With a throw of the final bomb, Kleavor's frenzied power explodes into a show of light, and as thanks, he gives us the Insect Plate.
Wait, is that just a piece of its body?
Oh geez, all the bombs are falling out of its stomach.
We report our success to Commander Kamado, who tells us that the other noble Pokemon have become frenzied as well. But before we can visit them, we need to level up our rank within the Survey Corps.
We shake a Burmy out of the trees, shake a Graveler out of the crystals? How did he get in there?
We also snag a Pichu, and then capture this man's son right in front of his eyes.
And that's enough to obtain the rank of 2nd star. And to celebrate, it's time to evolve Rowlet and officially welcome him to the team with a nickname, Ezekiel.
At the gates, we get challenged by Akari, who has 2 Pokemon now. Her Mime Jr. starts with a Zen Headbutt, taking more than half our HP. Why is everything so powerful in this game? This is a baby.
Yeah, but mimes don't conform to normal power standards, Shannon. The depths of their abilities are unmeasurable. Out in the Crimson Mirelands, we do some exploring to fill out our research pages before heading to the Salacion ruins. We catch a Ghastly, Paris, Carnivine, Roselia, and Budew. But after all this time, we still don't have an official second party member. Oh, well, never mind. A shiny Geodude? Yeah, we'll take that.
We switch it out for our stupid regular Geodude and give him the name Nugget.
In the Salacion ruins, Volo shows up and challenges us to a battle with his faithful Togepi. We show off our shiny new Nugget, whose sparkle in these ruins blinds Volo as we kick his egg right out through the door. After his defeat, Volo asks us to help locate a missing stone fragment, which was likely stolen by bandits while we were all blinded by Nugget's brilliance.
We track them down about 20 feet away from the ruins.
Yeah, well, stone tablet's probably like 200 pounds, so of course it didn't get far.
Coin of the Misfortune Sisters challenges us to battle with Toxicroak, and we're about to teach her a lesson about stealing.
Nugget's Mud Slap allows her to survive one turn, but her luck quickly runs out, and her rock gets smashed. So we call up Ezekiel to sweep up with Aerial Ace. That'll teach you to break a commandment.
With the slab back in place, we can finally visit Ursaluna on Sludge Mound to quell its rage.
I mean, I'd be pretty mad too if I had to live somewhere called Sludge Mound.
We start with Mr. Mime because the first Pokemon we use in battle usually tends to die.
Excuse me?
He uses Hypnosis to make Ursaluna drowsy, which we decided does not count as deception. Then he gets one confusion hit in before getting pounded into the dirt.
Not wanting to have our two mains faint and lose out on experience, we send in Weasel to do an agile-style Aqua Jet to gain a second move, and follow up with Water Pulse. Not bad for being underleveled.
With Ursaluna calmed, we play our sweet sounds of nothingness and gain him as a new ride Pokemon.
But the gods were not pleased with our paltry performance, and a space-time distortion rips the Mirelands asunder.
We failed to catch a Heracross and Drifblim, but after fleeing in terror, we managed to grab an Eevee. Also, Luxio is there, peeing a third wheel.
We also find a Porygon, with the same Luxio still hanging around. Take a hint, dude. Anywho, we add an Eevee to the party and head towards our next objective while sending it out to collect materials along the way. This increases its friendship while also giving us materials that we can sell to buy Pokeballs. Then, we head to Brava Arena to quell the rage of the second noble Pokemon, Lilligant.
The key to this battle is dodging her nimble attacks, which I am apparently not very good at.
The other key is actually throwing the bombs at her.
I forgot, I was busy.
Lilligant gets tired, so we initiate battle with Mr. Mime, whipping out a Hypnosis and a Zen Headbutt to... Oh, what, one-shot it? When it's 10 levels higher? Okay.
I finally get used to the timing on Lilligant's attacks to successfully dodge, knock it down once more with Ezekiel, and then throw the final bomb to end this noble's frenzy.
We report our success to Commander Kamado, rank up to 3rd star, and get given the go-ahead to survey the Cobalt Coastlands.
We're to investigate reports of a ghost on Firespit Island, which doesn't sound too weird to me. We've encountered dozens of ghosts already.
With a new area comes new Pokemon to research. Are you ready to hear what we caught? Take it away, Shannon!
Lanyao, Apom, Celio, Purugly, Rowlet, Golduck, Beautifly, Togepi, Mothim, Kadabra, Chatot, Rhydon, Macho, Beautifly, Duskull, Vaporeon.
And after all that, we switch out Mr. Mime for Togepi and evolve Nugget into a more glorious form. Before heading to the tip of the cape to meet Warden Polina. With her are two Growlithe. One who's the son of the deceased lord, and the other who's... there.
A dead father? With reports of a ghost in the area where he lived? What could this possibly mean?
Well, there's only one way to find out. With a hack of a snack and a toot from our flute, we gain Basculegion as a ride Pokemon and sail the seas towards Firespit Island.
Which is convenient, because that's also exactly where the Misfortune Sisters escaped to after stealing Polina's big Growlithe. We find the sisters deep in the island, apparently trying to sacrifice Growlithe to the volcano.
Clover challenges us with her Abomasnow, which is objectively the worst Pokemon she could bring here. What is wrong with you?
Eevee goes down to red after an icicle crash, but manages to get 2 attacks in before fainting. And then the heat from the volcano causes Abomasnow to basically sublimate, handing us the victory.
And then Coin challenges us with Toxicroak. I sure wish we healed before coming up here. Toxicroak makes quick work of Ponyta and Nugget, leaving it all up to Togepi.
I'm in danger!
If only we were allowed to use Draining Kiss.
But after realizing that an agile Fairy Wind gives us 2 moves in a row, our little egg carries us to victory.
Now we should be fine, unless Charm challenges us to... Oh my god. Charm is challenging us to battle. Sorry, Togepi.
On the rematch, we start with Nugget and use Iron Defense, allowing her to survive 2 of Rhydon's Bulldozes. Our only chance now is a lucky Mud Bomb, which succeeds! Rhydon misses the next attack and then succumbs to another Mud Bomb.
With just a sliver of health, we used Nugget as bait for her Gengar so that we could send out Ezekiel to die immediately to Venoshock.
But that strong style attack slows Gengar down enough that Floatzel can use 2 Water Pulses, sending him to a new level of ghostliness.
The Lord's son bursts onto the scene to save his friend, using his newfound courage to evolve.
What? That's not fair. Why does the power of friendship let him evolve, but we have to grind levels for it?
After evolving, Arcanine gets hit by a bolt of lightning, turning him into yet another frenzied noble.
Which means it's our time to shine.
With the slight lag from recording, I found dodging during this battle to be a little difficult, but we keep pelting Arcanine with bombs and its rage meter steadily decreases. Then I had a thought, where's the safest place on the battlefield? It's inside him!
How could he possibly get us in here?
Get out of me!
With the throw of the final bomb and a message from his father's ghost,
You have forgotten who you are.
we quell Arcanines Frenzy without even using our Pokemon once.
Before heading back to Jubilife to report the good news, it was time for some team maintenance. Eevee's friendship was finally high enough to evolve, and because defense is so important in this challenge, we go with Umbreon. We also give him the name Distortion, because we caught him within a space-time distortion.
Riding the bulkiness train, we also catch a Tentacool named Big Jelly to replace Floatzel, and then launch our voyage to Coronet Highlands.
We catch a Gibble, Barboach, and Whiscash, none of which we can use because, well, ground type. And after defeating a Heracross outside, Ezekiel evolves into his final form, Decidueye.
And after catching some Bronzor and Bronzong, Togepi's ready to evolve as well, which is great timing because we couldn't do that until Ezekiel evolved and lost its flying type.
We give him the name Angel because, well, it's flying, it's a fairy, it's the closest thing to an angel we can get.
We also take Bronzong out of storage, finally completing our team. We name it Glean, which is an anagram for angel, but also because Glean means to collect slowly, which is what we did with this team.
Bad wordplay aside, we arrive at Sneasler's home to get its help scaling the area's rocky landscape. But first, we're challenged to battle by its warden.
Machoke takes a Machunk of health from Angel, then faints immediately to Air Slash. But Gliscor gets revenge with a super effective poison attack. Glean takes him down with a double flash cannon, then succumbs to Tangela's strong style energy ball.
And then it was all up to Distortion, because unsurprisingly, we did not heal before this battle. Calm Mind buffs our defenses, and we fight through paralysis to knock out Tangela with a single Dark Pulse. And for our troubles, Ingo summons Sneasler.
Or my great Aunt Bessie in a jumpsuit.
What?
Well, it's a similar shape.
Stop. Just stop. Go. Stop.
We play a beautiful tune to serenade Sneasler and or Peter's Aunt Bessie, giving us the ability to climb mountains. We use this to get to Moonview Arena, home of Lord Electrode, the next frenzied noble Pokemon.
The battle against Electrode is a doozy. Voltorbs fall and explode from the sky as a giant ball of electricity follows us incessantly around the arena. There's not much time to throw bombs. We have to be patient and wait for the right time.
But the wonky delayed controls makes it more difficult to maneuver, and sending a Pokemon out for battle fails for some reason, so we quickly lose the fight.
It is a good thing being bad is not one of the 10 Commandments.
The second attempt doesn't go much better. Patience isn't one of my strong suits, but we actually hit the battle prompt this time.
Electrode wipes Nugget off the face of the earth, but Big Jelly knocks it out with a single poison jab. We inflict a ton of bomb damage, dodge the heat-seeking Electro Balls, and then
Electrode has been calmed.
he still looks pretty angry to me.
They have no arms or legs. What kind of quality of life do we have there?
Reporting our success to the commander, there's no surprise that he informs us of yet another frenzied lord, Avalugg in Alabaster Icelands.
But first, we have to be 5th star rank, and we are nowhere close. So we load up on Pokeballs at the shop and head back to Coronet Highlands to complete some research.
We do the classic tasks of battling and catching as many different species of Pokemon as we can, the most impressive of which is the Magnezone that Shannon snipes out of the sky.
We also do some more unique challenges as well, such as giving food to Sneasel, or my personal favorite, throwing mud into Gligar's eyes.
Pocket sand.
This gives us enough points to reach 5th star, and we head to Alabaster Icelands. We ignore every single new Pokemon and head straight for our objective, Warden Garrick of the Pearl Clan.
But Garrick is all brawn and no brain, and challenges us to a battle. His Glalie Frostlass double team is broken up by Distortion, and a flash cannon from Glean brings home the win. What a pushover. It's a good thing he's resistant to the cold because that was a chilling loss.
To calm Avaluggs Frenzy, we need to obtain some Eternal Ice, which requires the ability of Flight.
Which means we need help from Bravery because apparently our flying Pokemon aren't good enough.
Braviary doesn't attack on the first turn, so we're forced to use Calm Mind. And then again on the second turn. And the third Braviary, please! Show some bloodlust so we can actually attack you.
It finally uses Brave Bird and we retaliate with a strong style Fairy Wind, which doesn't even take half of its health. And now Glean is our only remaining Pokemon.
The fear of having to redo this battle looms over our heads, but Glean's impressive bulk and defensive typing saves the day, and Braviary faints to its flash cannon. We play a beautiful duet with Sabi.
Please make it stop.
and the power of flight is ours.
We swoop down to Avaluggs Landing to grab some Eternal Ice, which is apparently fragments of ancient Avalugg, so it's cannibalism? Is that against the commandments?
No, I don't think so. We're good.
Brushing that aside, we race to Ice Cap Arena to feed Avalugg its forbidden snack.
This guy is huge.
It's like David versus Goliath, except for Goliath is made out of ice.
Well, luckily Rock is super effective against ice.
Well, it doesn't matter if we can't even reach him.
We channel our inner LeBron to pelt Avalugg with bombs while dodging its barrage of ice attacks. Well, attempting to dodge its barrage of ice attacks.
Show him your power, Togetic! Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nugget uses 2 strong-style bulldozes before fainting, and Big Jelly cleans up with water pulse, earning us a few free bomb throws. And after the world's most one-sided snowball fight, we finally calm Avalugg, who thanks us with one of its ice plates.
Plate? That's an entire ice flow. We bring the news to Kamado, who is so happy he doesn't even notice we didn't catch a single Pokemon in the Icelands.
Well, something tells me he won't be happy for long. Disaster Looming is our next mission.
That's what comes up on my peripheral vision whenever I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay, there's a time and place for improv, and that is not right now. The rift has gotten bigger, and now a strange energy is wafting out of it.
And that's what happens when I'm in the bathroom.
Anyway, we get blamed for what's happening and get banished from the village. We search the Obsidian Fieldlands for someone to take us in, but get turned away at every corner.
Why does this sound familiar to me?
But then Volo comes to save the day by bringing us to a small cabin in the woods.
Inside this stable, we don't find a manger. We find a stranger. She tells us that in order for us to close the rift in the sky, we must meet the 3 Lake Guardians to create the Red Chain.
First up is Mesprit at Lake Verity in the Obsidian Fieldlands. We head inside the cave to... Dear God, what happened to Mesprit?
It ate her!
Don't worry, Mesprit, we'll save you! After a weak Iron Tail, we manage to land 2 Dark Pulses before Distortion faints. Nugget whips out 2 Bulldozes in a row, which probably isn't the best move to use inside a cave, but... Earthquake!
And for pulling Mesprit out from the goo, we're awarded with her plume. Apparently.
We do the same thing at the other 2 lakes for Uxie and Azelf, then head for the Shrouded Ruins where all 3 Guardians appear and award us the Red Chain. We're to take it to the top of Mount Coronet, where Commander Kamado is waiting to face the threat behind the rift.
To prepare for our final journey, we sell every crafting item we picked up to purchase potions and revives, then make our way to the peak.
We climb to the top of Spear Pillar to face Kamado. His Braviary gets a critical hit on Distortion, so knowing that he won't last another turn, we do a strong style Dark Pulse. And he switches to Clefable, who kisses us to death.
Down in front!
Big Jelly jabs Clefable right in the throat, then Hydro Pump Snorlax.
It's not working! He's drinking all the water!
It's the perfect counter! Ezekiel turns the battle around with triple arrows, allowing Nugget to sweep up with Bulldoze, and then Angel finishes off his weakened Braviary with Air Slash.
With Kamado's defeat, we climb the Temple of Sinnoh, where Dialga speaks through Adamant to tell us to catch it.
But we can't do that. So it's time to die, false god. Roar of Time was too loud for Distortion's sensitive ears, so we send out Nugget, who doesn't have any ears. A strong-style Bulldoze puts this wannabe god in its place, and then we are forced to actually catch it to advance the story.
This is bullshit.
Well, he can just stay in the pasture, I guess. Palkia then emerges from the rift with a burst of overwhelming energy, forcing us to retreat down the mountain. We get another message from Dialga, and then grab some special ore for Laventon to make an Origin Ball that can be used to stop the raging Palkia.
Before heading back, the game forces us to bring Dialga along. Fine, but they can't force us to use it, so we haven't broken the commandment, technically.
Palkia transforms into a horse, the most terrifying of all creatures. And then it's time to... Oh, it's a bomb fight. Okay, this is more hands-on than I thought.
Yeah, that's how it is with horses. Palkia's relentless attack gives us no rest, and we go down before even taking out a quarter of its health bar.
But the second attempt goes much better, and we steadily make progress. With just a sliver of health left, we crawl underneath him where a horse can't reach and go hog wild, then throw the Origin Ball and put an end to this calamity.
And with the credits rolling, we have officially beaten Pokemon Legends Arceus without breaking any of the 10 commandments. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below if you'd like to see us do the post-game.